News Channel 4.
The coolness of dusk in the Valley of the Sun, where today temperatures reach 99 degrees. But it remains hot inside America West Arena, where tonight it's Game 3 in the best-of-5 first-round playoff series. The San Antonio Spurs against the Phoenix Suns. And a pleasant good evening, everyone, with Dick Versace. This is Kevin Harlan. The San Antonio Spurs, with the win tonight, can sweep their first-round series against Phoenix. And maybe in the process, Dick, getting away with a lot of perceptions about this team. Things that people said before the season, they were too soft, they were too this, they were too that. Maybe that has changed now.
Well, you know, if you think about it, when I talk to people and they say, Dick, who do you like in the West? You know, I said, hey, I don't know. It's a crapshoot. It could be Houston. Certainly, they're the defending champs. People like the Lakers. Some people like Utah. Seattle's terrific. There's all kinds of teams out here. Phoenix, they had their fans. But you know what? The way San Antonio has played, they've demonstrated that they now are the prohibitive favorite.
They changed the perception as a team, and maybe their leader, David Robinson, has had the critics silenced. The perceptions have changed perhaps about him.
You know, I think it's been unfair. They've called him soft. But guess what, gang? Soft no more. He's solid as a rock. This guy's putting up big, big numbers. Those are his numbers for the playoffs. But that's not the important part. The important part is he's become the go-to guy, the crunch time player. Here's an example. Punch it in, punch it out, back inside, turn, wheel, deal, fade, drop it, crunch. He's solid as a rock. David Robinson, soft no more.
Well, and the Phoenix Suns are going to try to play hardball tonight with David Robinson. Here is a team that has been riddled by injuries, and again, the injury factor will be huge tonight against San Antonio. But a team, too, that is back home and played very well in Game 2 on Sunday.
Well, you know, Kevin, this is a very tough thing for a coach to do. You coach 82 games. Now you get your team into the playoffs. You get blown in the first game. Now you got 48 hours to get them to stop thinking about packing up the U-Hauls and get competitive again. A savvy veteran coach like Cotton Fitzsimmons knows how to get it done, got it done. They were competitive in Game 2. He feels good now about Game 3.
And he's got two veterans to lead the way, too, in Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson.
These two guys have had great playoffs to date. Look at these numbers. They're staggering. And I think that Cotton knows that he has to go with these guys, Kevin, and he has to put them on the shoulders, has to have these guys perform.
We are ready to go in Phoenix from the America West Arena. The Spurs and Suns coming up next.
Imagine hearing the call of the road, not the road itself. Imagine having the world at your fingertips. Imagine yourself worrying less and enjoying more. Imagine an automobile so precisely engineered it feels as if it were formed from a single piece of steel. Introducing the all-new 1996 Mercury Sable.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Now get 2.9% financing or $600 cash back on the 1996 Mercury Sable.
He runs the 100 in 14.4. He long jumps 7.2.5. And he high jumps. Well, sort of. But wow, you should see his Powerade cap. It won him the chance to train at a U.S. Olympic Training Center. And the right cap could get you here, too. Odds of scoring are 1 in 4 with discounts on athletic gear from Champ Sports. Discounts on subscriptions to Sports Illustrated and free Powerade. Hey, that could be you.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are folks who like to work on their cars themselves. But the ones who come in most often are those who work on cars for a living. Guys like Ed Graven. Now, Ed's garage is in Ogden, Utah, where most of the time you'll find him pulling an engine or sliding under a car. And just about every day, he drives past a half-dozen other parts stores on his way to AutoZone. Because Ed knows that when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite. It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine.
You do not belong in my house. So you show up every morning.
I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you. If only for an instant.
Even if it's just for an instant.
Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
Ernie Johnson back at you from our Atlanta studio. Coming up next on TNT, the San Antonio Spurs trying to make it a clean sweep of the Phoenix Suns, but they have had some trouble at America West. They play Game 3 in just a second. Already tonight, the Eastern Conference semifinal is set, one of them at least. The Chicago Bulls are going to be in there. They beat Miami 112-91. Michael had 26. Scotty, 22 points, 18 rebounds, 10 assists, the first triple-double of the 1996 playoffs. The Bulls advanced to meet the New York Knicks, who made it a sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 81-76. John Starks had 22, hit 5 out of 7 three-pointers, and hit better than 60% from three-point land in the series as the Knicks advanced to meet the Chicago Bulls. Next, we take you west to America West. The Phoenix Suns trying to stave off elimination as they take on the San Antonio Spurs. The Admiral had 40 last time out. We'll take you there after this.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of 1996 Lincoln and Mercury automobiles. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by STP, makers of Son of a Gun Protectant and new Son of a Gun Tire Glaze.
These days, more and more people are doing things they never imagined before. People who never imagined a minivan could drive like a car are driving the Mercury Villager. People who never imagined how much fun driving could be are driving the Mercury Mystique. And people who never imagined a car could look and feel this solid are driving the all-new Mercury Sable.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
For a limited time, get 2.9 financing or $600 cash back on Mercury Sable and Mystique.
Once upon a time, 3 girls went to Rocksteady for a pickup game.
Yo! We got next.
Lisa is the center of U.S. women's basketball team. Cheryl's a forward. Dawn's a point guard.
Shoot that, Cheryl. Take the jumper, Lisa. We'll take that. Good game. Okay, good game. Next. Yeah, shot. That's the next one. I got you. He can't shoot either.
And this isn't a fairy tale, so they didn't beat every guy. But they beat enough to say, basketball is basketball. Athletes are athletes.
STP Son of a Gun Protectant makes vinyl truly shine. Leather more lustrous. And rubber more brilliant and beautiful. It works so well, in fact, some people even use it on cars. Son of a Gun Protectant and new Son of a Gun Tire Glaze by STP.
We're hot and wow. Call Domino's now.
There's only one pizza that makes my picky taste buds go ooh, ooh, ooh. It's Domino's Pizza, just the way Domino's does it. That crust with that pepperoni, those zesty herbs. I like the deep dish crust, the hand-tossed crust, any Domino's crust. Just crust, crust, crust. You've got to try your favorite toppings and tons of cheese on that Domino's crust. It's your turn. For hot and wild, call Domino's now. And in a few minutes, you'll know what I mean.
From Oregon State, number 45, AC Green. And at forward from Auburn, number 34, Charles Barkley. Into the non-players for the Suns, Michael Lee. Officials for the night game are Anthony Rush, Tom Delaney, and Greg Willard.
There you see the Phoenix Suns being introduced, and their lineup tonight not much different here in Game 3 in the first round of the Western Conference playoff. The San Antonio Spurs and the Phoenix Suns. Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson highlight the Phoenix Suns, who will also have Green and Williams on that front line, and Wesley Person joins KJ in the backcourt. The Spurs with Elliott, Charles Smith, along with David Robinson, as they are flying high inside America West Arena. The backcourt has been flying high for the San Antonio Spurs of Vinny Del Negro, who has a slight knee problem tonight, which we'll talk about in a second, along with the point guard, Avery Johnson. Third member of our crew tonight here in Phoenix is Ian Eagle. Ian?
Kevin, this was supposed to be the NBA playoff debut for rookie Michael Finley. An injured ankle has kept him out of action. How difficult has it been for you to watch this from the sidelines and not be able to contribute?
Well, it's been very disappointing to watch my teammates go out there and give it their all, and I can't be a part of that. In a way, it feels like I disappointed them a little bit, but hopefully they can pull out a victory.
If the Suns are able to get this series on to a 4th and 5th game, will you be able to play?
Well, my injury right now is day to day. It's getting better each and every day, and hopefully the series can go long so I can get back in there.
An outstanding season for Michael Finley. He didn't expect it to possibly end this way. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Ian. As David Robinson and Charles Barkley, who have been tremendous playoff scorers and tremendous rebounders so far in the first 2 games, I'm sure will show well tonight here in Game 3.
There's 2 interesting matchups I think you want to watch throughout this game. Cotton Fitzsimmons is very, very worried naturally about David Robinson, but he's also very worried about Sean Elliott. The AC Green Sean Elliott matchup is not one that he likes. It's the best he can do. He would love to have Michael Finley available to guard Sean Elliott.
So the San Antonio Spurs, who have never won a postseason game in this building, 0-5. Touch it first with Elliott working on Green, as you just talked about, in a quick 2 for the San Antonio Spurs.
I mean, that was Matador defense. He just blew right by him. It can't be that easy.
Kevin Johnson, who took 9 more shots in Game 2 than in Game 1. He became more assertive, and that's what Cotton wants. Wesley Person needs to get hot, and that's a good way to begin it.
Well, Person's been playing really well. Wesley Person's made 5 out of 7 threes in this series.
Robinson gets it out to Del Negro with the bad right knee. Charles Smith, who works into Barkley and comes up with a big jam inside. We have not seen that much in Game 1 or 2 so far.
Smith has been very quiet. It's almost like his old New York days.
Kevin Johnson, the Person. He's hit his first. Standing on the second. Gets the rebound and over Elliott. Finds it again.
But I think you can expect a big night out of Wesley Person and maybe Chuck Person, because Mom's here to watch both brothers.
Avery Johnson with the mismatch now. They got Elliott and Kevin Johnson, who Cotton Fitzsimmons said he may use from time to time. Right there, it didn't work out for the Suns. Elliott comes up with his first 2 going through, and here comes Kevin Johnson once again into Avery Johnson. KJ. Rebound by Smith, who looks tough to begin the game, and Avery Johnson the other way. Robinson for a wide open Sean Elliott. 2 of 2, make it 3 of 3, and that was from downtown for a triple.
You know, it's interesting, Kevin. I'm coming off of doing the Seattle-Sacramento series, and when I'm doing that series, I'm seeing baskets hard to come by. Every basket is a struggle, an effort. In the first couple of minutes of this game, I've seen some very, very easy baskets, almost like it's preseason.
Fitzsimmons didn't like what he saw. Maybe it was Charles Smith who came in. He has only scored a handful of points in the first 2 games.
Well, Smith, I think, is responding to the criticisms. He's only averaged 4 points in the first 2 games, and this time he got very assertive, went inside. Nice little power dunk.
Charles Smith in Game 1 had 6 points. Game 2 had just 2 points, and he's averaging close to 10. He had a meeting with Bob Hill after Game 1 where he was showing a lot of videotape trying to correct his ways.
You know, I worked with Charles Smith overseas one summer, and he's just a delightful guy. He's one of the nicest guys you'd want to meet, and he needs a lot of guidance. So when Bob Hill talked to him, that's the way to handle a guy like him. You just can't go in there and yell at him.
Vinny Del Negro picks up the first foul for the San Antonio Spurs, who have not missed a shot. Phoenix has started 2 of 4 from the field. Johnson and Johnson atop the key. Elliott works on Parker. Shot clock is down to 10. And AC Green with the fan, and a rebound inside is out of bounds and off the hands of the Phoenix Suns.
See, Barkley's making a case. He knew that he slapped the ball off the foot of a Spurs player, and I think he was right.
Robinson has it again, scoreless so far, and over Hackrod, who applies the defense, and here comes Phoenix.
That was a straight shot.
Little double team there at Kevin Johnson. Wesley Person will fire a pass inside. Knocked away by Robinson. Picked up by Elliott. Here come the Spurs. Smith and Barkley should be a good matchup tonight, and Charles forced him outside, which is probably a good way to go at it.
Yeah, if you're going to have to make a choice, I would like to have him shoot outside rather than take the ball to the basket or even post up. He's a pretty good post-up player.
Del Negro, and this is what the Spurs do so well, and in particular, Vinny Del Negro. They play a style that can kill other teams.
Hey, the way he's playing in this series, you should be calling him Vinny Del Fuego.
A 7-0 run by San Antonio. On top by 7, 11-4. Barkley on Smith. Doubled by Robinson. Barkley goes up under it. Can't get it to fall. And a nice rebound to Person for 3. Del Negro.
Now that's interesting. Bob Delaney's right on top of it. Ed rushes across the floor, and he calls it travel. I think he got a little help from the fans. 2 or 3 little cute stutter steps there. Yeah, he's laughing about it. Look at Avery Johnson. He's laughing about it.
Turnovers even at 1. Spurs by 7. Barkley again. This time over Robinson. Avery Johnson has it. Transition has been tough on defense for the San Antonio Spurs and for the Suns at times. And we see Smith with the fan. Green with the rebound. Kevin Johnson. They had missed 7 previous shots, so they break the string.
See, Cotton Fitzsimmons knows, you know, this is it. You know, you can't save Kevin for next year. You don't want to save Charles for next year. You don't even know if they're going to be here. Kevin's talking about retirement. Charles, you never know. So he's going to play him as much as he has to.
Avery Johnson fans on his shot, and a good rebound by Barkley, who has been one of the top rebounders in the playoffs so far in the NBA. Number 1. Rod Williams.
Cotton Fitzsimmons was very confident when we spoke to him this afternoon. He feels that this ball club has got a good chance to get back in this thing. They're having all this rhetoric about, we'll go back, we'll win 2 here, we'll go back. Everybody will talk about it was a great series like Paul Westphal did when they had the series against the Lakers. But you know what? They got to do one at a time, and tonight's the first one.
Illegal defense on the Suns. Robinson fanning inside. The rebound by Williams, triggering it to Johnson, who finds an opening.
I mean, that is very, very pathetic transition defense. The guy went 90 feet and was never contested.
Elliott by Green. And the foul called on A.C. Green. Kevin Johnson and the Suns have gone 5 of 12 from the field. KJ with 4. And it's San Antonio by 1.
Experience the excitement of your favorite Olympic events. Now in commemorative cans of Bud, Bud Light, and Bud Ice. Better yet, if you get one of these special gold cans, you could see the games live in Atlanta. Look for Grab the Gold details wherever you see Bud Family Olympic packages. Just another part of the Bud World Party.
Enter the Mission Impossible sweepstakes only at Foot Locker. You could go courtside with TNT or TBS, home of the NBA playoffs. Then watch for Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Coming May 22nd.
Please kiss me, croaked the frog. And then the princess kissed the frog, and he suddenly turned into Charles Barkley.
Daddy!
Okay. You caught me. The frog turned into a handsome prince. I love reading with my kids. We all enjoy it. Reading builds a solid foundation for their future. Okay, who wants to read the next one?
Daddy, Charles must have been a really big frog.
For a half hour every Sunday morning, we'll look at the world a little differently. Pro Golf Weekly, Sunday on CNN.
After trailing by 7, the Suns now trail by a point.
Phoenix Suns are a ball club that has been awful in transition. Charles Barkley said that Here's my feeling about the playoffs. I'll give you all the cliches. You know, our backs are against the wall. It's now or never. Ain't over till the fat lady sings. Take them one at a time. We must win, do or die. It's not over till it's over. I think they're having a lot of fun, but I think they ought to get down to business. And one of the things that they should do business-wise is get back in transition. Force the other team to play 5-on-5. They're not doing that.
Phoenix is on a 6-0 run right now. And they got Smith into Barkley, doubled by Johnson, who picks up a foul inside, trying to double down on Charles Smith. Barkley picks it up inside. Well, Kevin Johnson playing a lot of different roles, it looks like, early in this game.
You know, Kevin, I think that they'll just do whatever has to be done. I mean, if he has to guard David Robinson, you know, that's what they're going to do. This is it. It's now or never. It's do or die.
He's got a wide open Sean Elliott for 3. Del Negro on the feed, and Elliott red hot. He played high school in nearby Tucson, went to school at the University of Arizona. He gives the Spurs a lead of 4.
The Suns really don't have an answer for Sean Elliott. They're just going to have to do catch as catch can.
Robinson again comes out on Barkley and forces another miss, and here come the Spurs. Second time now. Charles is shot outside with Robinson defending. Del Negro missing the 3. Robinson cleans it up. Elliott again.
There's a double and a switch. That's interesting.
Shot clock at 10. Elliott 4 of 4. And his first miss. And Barkley will lead a 3-on-2. Wesley Person. Person's got 6, and he has a nice start tonight. The Spurs are shooting 42%. They take it inside with an Avery Johnson drive.
What a great story Avery Johnson is. Determination, pride, never giving up, perseverance, gets better every year.
Kevin Johnson at the other end. Kevin Johnson's got 8.
Big speed mismatch. AC Green matched up on Avery Johnson.
Then Kevin Johnson on Elliott. Now the switch, and they got Green on him with the shot clock down to 5. Avery Johnson a 3, and he nails it at the 24-second shot clock buzzer.
Cotton Fitzsimmons is kind of throwing the kitchen sink at the San Antonio Spurs. They're doing a little run and jumping, a lot of switching, indiscriminate switches. They're doing anything they can to try to disrupt them.
Williams fumbled it away. And the Suns have it. We go next to Ian Eagle. Ian?
In practice, Vinny Del Negro suffered a slight hyperextension of the right knee. They applied some ice to it, and today they applied the wrap. That is not something that he normally wears on that right knee. Spurs say that he's experiencing some discomfort, but it is nothing serious. Del Negro obviously giving it a go tonight. Kevin, Versace.
Well, Ian, you know, for a right-hander, the right leg doesn't bother you as much as the jumping leg, which is the left leg. So I look for Vinny Del Negro as he gets warmed up to ignore that right leg.
Person goes by Elliott. Will Purdue is in the game, along with Chuck Person, and Purdue is heard from. He has had a magnificent first 2 games.
Yeah, shooting 79% from the field.
Leading all playoff players in the NBA. 1:04 to play here in the first quarter from the America West Arena. Elliott takes it into Person. Rebound by Hot Rod Williams. Kevin Johnson. Loose ball foul called inside. And the second assessed Charles Barkley.
Well, you know, Barkley has his critics and certainly has his admirers, and I am one of his admirers. But at this stage in his career, he's putting up huge numbers in this playoff series. But if you watch carefully, you'll see he's lagging back, often not getting back on defense. He's concentrating, using his energy to score and to rebound.
Tisdale, Wayman Tisdale now comes in for Charles Barkley. 3.5 to play in the first quarter. Spurs 50% from the field, And the Suns 41%. Robinson left free. Purdue with the screen. And the rebound by A.C. Green. Here once again come the Phoenix Suns. Robinson has started 0-3. Tisdale working on Chuck Person, who plays the power position and nails it.
Well, that's what Cotton told us today. He said, we need to find some scoring from an unexpected place. He said it could be Wayman Tisdale. He can score.
By 2, they've led by 7. Avery Johnson the miss. Kevin Johnson the rebound, and he'll trigger it for the Suns. Ahead to Wesley Person by his brother Chuck Person, and a foul.
At least help your brother up.
There has been no hand-holding in this series.
Imagine hearing the call of the road, not the road itself. Imagine having the world at your fingertips. Imagine yourself worrying less and enjoying more. Imagine an automobile so precisely engineered it feels as if it were formed from a single piece of steel. Introducing the all-new 1996 Mercury Sable.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Now get 2.9% financing or $600 cash back on the 1996 Mercury.
Westlake has the tools and the know-how to help you get things growing.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like this kink-free, even-flow 50-foot garden hose from Colorite. And weeds are history with Ortho Weed Begone Lawn Weed Killer. So come to Westlake for the tools and the know-how to grow it right.
Oh, yeah.
Paying too much for those little extras? Come to Old Country Buffet. We give you all the home cooking you can eat for one low price, including desserts and beverages. Old Country Buffet. We're real close to home.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
With Dick Versace, and no, that is not the coach, and Ian Eagle. This is Kevin Harlan. We're at the America West Arena in Phoenix, where the Spurs build a lead of 7 on Sean Elliott's beginning 4 of 4 from the field. Charles Barkley, 2 fouls. He has not hit a shot yet from the floor. And the Spurs holding on to a lead of 2. Pretty even statistically, too. Rebounding in the game favors the Suns. 11-7. Robinson in the game. 0 of 3 from the field as well.
Now, San Antonio does not have a very good track record on this particular court and in this building. So I think that they've only won once, and I believe it was a 12 times, something like that. 1 out of 12. 1 win, 10 losses, and I think they're 0-5 in the playoffs in this building. So I think Phoenix feels very comfortable here, but they got to back it up with a little bit better defense. And I think they have to back it up with some more patience on offense. And I think they ought to think about some of the selection. Barkley inside, taking on 2 or 3 people, taking circus shots. I think Cotton has him sitting down thinking about it a little bit.
And what maneuvering we've seen the Suns do on defense.
Well, they're very aggressive and very innovative on defense, and I think that should be an unfolding story that we can watch as this game unwinds. They're doing some run and jump, a lot of switching, and challenging shots better once they get on the half.
Robinson is 0 of 4. We're in the midst of our 3rd tie. Here comes Kevin Johnson, and he finds Williams, who looks for Tisdale. And then Williams picks it up. He'll go up again. Will Purdue at the block, and Chuck Person cleans it up for the Spurs.
See, there's Hot Rod inside, taking on 3 people. I like to see him pass back out to the perimeter, find an open Wesley Person or somebody for a spot-up shot.
Danny Manning comes in for the first time. Quickly he draws the foul, playing at about 60%, Cotton Fitzsimmons told us. The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow night on TNT. Then the Atlanta Hawks try to clinch their series against the Indiana Pacers at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then the Houston Rockets and LA Lakers battle in Game 4 of their best-of-5 series. It's the NBA playoff doubleheader tomorrow night right here on TNT. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Down by 7. Suns have come back to tie. Elliott inside. Knocked away, and they call the goaltend count to 2. And Elliott now has put in 12.
Now that's a terrible mismatch. Wesley Person, slightly built, trying to handle a more powerfully built and more experienced, terrific scoring Sean Elliott. Bad matchup.
Kevin Johnson, and he was fouled.
Oh, is he fired up? Did you see that? He went over and kicked the scorer's table.
Well, they need something.
I love it. I love this game.
Kevin Johnson. Tremendous playoff so far, averaging 13 assists in the first 2 games.
No, he's just incredible. You know, all the years I've been watching Kevin Johnson, I've never seen anyone be able to keep him in front of him, with the exception of Gary Payton. The only player I've ever seen keep Kevin Johnson in front.
His 3-point play gives Phoenix their first lead tonight. 21-20. We're down to a minute and a half remaining. Double team on Person. Slides by Kevin Johnson, who has been adding his defense to everything it seems down around the block so far.
Well, he went down. He tried to help out, but there's Mom. I met Mom when I was coaching the Indiana Pacers, and she used to come and visit Chuck. She's a very, very sweet lady. I was talking about Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is very active defensively. He was involved in the double team. Wesley Person that time ended up guarding his brother Chuck Person. That's a bad mismatch. Size-wise, strength-wise, experience, as I talked about the Sean Elliott matchup. So Kevin Johnson goes down, but see what happened. Wesley Person gambles. Now KJ goes down, picks up a foul.
So Barkley has 2 fouls. Kevin Johnson has 1. Those are the 2 guns for the Suns. Trailed by a point. Here's Tisdale taking the place of Barkley. Ball's been in Kevin Johnson's hands a lot. He throws it away right there. And here comes Sean Elliott, who's had a magnificent first quarter with 12 points. Purdue. There's Johnson again doubling.
Good rotation.
Elliott for 3. Manning the rebound. Ahead to John Hot Rod Williams. Wesley Person for 3. Out of bounds and off Danny Manning. The Spurs have it.
Well, I was giving David Robinson in the open. He's not soft anymore. He's a rock. 11 minutes, 0 points. David Robinson.
Avery Johnson inside. Avery Johnson's got 6. Big clock at 35, shot clock at 18. Winding down the first quarter. Manning.
Danny Manning playing through pain, tendinitis in both knees, especially the knee that's been reconstructed, trying to help out his ball club. He is another guy that could fill the role of the unexpected scorer.
Difference is 6 seconds. Shot clock, game clock, shot clock at 3. And Elliott, who's been shooting a lot outside, again finds it. He's got 14 points in the first quarter. Manning trying to beat the buzzer, and out of bounds it goes. He's going to give some time to the Spurs as we wind down the first quarter here in Phoenix. They've got .6 on there right now. The Spurs are contending they should have some more time left. And they put 2:10 on.
Chuck Person wants Sean Elliott to take it out because he wants the 3. He sets the screen for Robinson, though.
David Robinson goes 0 of 5 from the field. Sean Elliott scores 14 points. The Suns were down by 7. They trail by 3 at the end of 1.
step into the postseason on TNT and TBS. Now, you must hit the shot or it's all over. The NBA playoffs continue on TNT and TBS.
On TNT Saturday Nitro, the body shop is always open.
Why did you make me like this?
Feast your eyes on a night of horror. Saturday at 10 on TNT Saturday Nitro.
Sometimes there's a game on my corner, and I'm deep into my head, so it goes all like Zen-like. And check this out. I'm seeing Anderson, Robinson, Van Exel, and my man Sam Cassell playing ball where my guys play ball. And it's all about ball. And it's crazy, right? I mean, all in my head, but you think I'm crazy, right? Yo, I'm not crazy. I know what's real. I'm real. This is my planet.
Ray and I set up shop here in the 60s. Man doesn't have a lazy bone in his body. Some time ago, his hands began bothering him. He'd take Tylenol or Advil and go about his business, but sometimes it got to be too much. So our doctor said to try Aleve.
This one you take every 8 to 12 hours.
Aleve is longer lasting than extra strength Tylenol. At the end of the day, it's stronger relief than a dose of Advil. It's all he takes. Ray's in every day except Sunday.
Gotta get my fishing in sometime.
Aleve. All day strong, all day long.
He's jumping. Get him down. Get over here.
What's going through his head?
The street if he jumps.
Maybe I should move my car.
Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khakis.
I should have gotten a dog.
Welcome back. The Spurs up by 3 here at the America West Arena. You know, we found somebody that is very much in the Olympic spirit, and it's Suns guard Kevin Johnson. You see, KJ was involved in bringing the Olympic torch from Los Angeles to Atlanta. He was part of the leg that brought the torch through the Phoenix area. This was yesterday. KJ doing his part to get into the 1996 Olympics as we are closing in July 19th, opening ceremonies in Atlanta. Kevin and Dick.
Yesterday when it was 98. It was hot.
That is an Olympic sacrifice.
Manning to begin the second quarter. The tap in by an ever alert Raymond Tisdale.
Now maybe Cotton can get all of the things that he needs to get done by committee. You know, defense on Sean Elliott by committee.
Del Negro back in. Smith is back in with Person and Purdue, and Del Negro kicks it out to Chuck Person for 3, and he nails it.
And, you know, of course, Cotton can get some unexpected scoring, maybe not just from Tisdale. Maybe he can get a little from Manning, a little from Tisdale. Get it from a committee of people.
He doesn't have a lot of options in terms of what he can do. He's got to stick with what he's got on the plate.
You know, he bristled today when he was asked by a reporter, you know, whether his team had quit. That bothered Cotton Fitzsimmons.
Tisdale's hit 2 in a row. One inside, that time from outside. A minute gone, and the San Antonio Spurs lead by 2. They got Manning on Johnson, a mismatch with KJ coming over to double. Wesley Person and Chuck Person head-to-head. Charles Barkley back in the game. The ball is called on Charles Smith. That's his first foul of the game.
You know, I don't know if this is a pattern that I'm seeing develop here, but what Cotton's trying to do is he's trying to get his guys back in transition defensively and matched up. He doesn't even care if you're guarding the wrong guy because they're going to double team all the time with Kevin Johnson. He's like the designated double teamer on all mismatches.
Barkley has not scored. And stays that way as he was shoved around pretty good inside the lane. If I'd have told you that we'd have a first quarter with neither Robinson nor Barkley score, you wouldn't have believed it.
You know, Kevin, I would especially be concerned about the fact that David Robinson isn't scoring. I think Charles Barkley has his moments, and this is a team and a player and the captain of the team that's probably not going to advance far in the playoffs. But Bob Hill, on the other hand, I think should be concerned that David Robinson has come out in such a phlegmatic, passive fashion as he has here in the first part of this basketball game.
Foul was on Avery Johnson, and Barkley remains scoreless as David Robinson comes back out. They got the rookie Corey Alexander, so Smith and Avery Johnson take a seat on the Bob Hill bench.
Corey Alexander's seen precious little time in the first two games of this series, as has Carl Herrera or Cadillac Anderson, Monty Williams, those guys. Doc Rivers is not with the team today. He's back in San Antonio. He's hurt. He will be rejoining the team when he can.
Back spasms for Doc Rivers. We saw some back spasms for Michael Jordan down in Miami.
Yeah, and Doc has always been one of my favorite people in the entire NBA experience for Dick to say. Doc Rivers is one of the class acts that's ever put on a uniform. Bright guy.
Barkley remains scoreless. Barkley is 0-3. Robinson 0-4. Here comes the rookie Alexander against new point guard Elliot Perry for the Phoenix Suns. They got Del Negro working on Wesley Person. Robinson will touch it against Hot Rod Williams. Robinson finally comes up with his first two.
That's exactly what I would do. I would put it on the big man. I'd challenge him. I'd punch that ball into him. I'd tell him, do what you're supposed to do. Carry us and get used to it.
Barkley counters at the other end with his first two of the game. Spurs by 2. 2 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Robinson looking for Purdue. It worked in game 1, but Phoenix told us they were going to shut the door on that backdoor play in game 2 and 3, and they've been pretty successful. The Spurs by 2 early in the second.
Make no mistake, Spiff is here.
You said you had fished here before.
You're lost. No. Come on. No. Come on, you can admit it. No. Come on. Tell me. I'm not lost.
Check out the 96 Rodeos at the Great Isuzu Clearance Event, going on now.
We deliver more than cars. Just ask the shipments. They came to Cable Dahmer Mazda with very special needs. A whole bunch of them, actually, including plenty of room, a keyless entry system, and lots of cup holders. With Cable Dahmer Mazda's 8.5 acres of cars, trucks, and vans, plus special good neighbor financing, it didn't take long to find just the right Mazda. And the shipments, well, they loaded up in a hurry. Come see us at Cable Dahmer Mazda on the Miracle Mile, Nolan Road, Independence.
A lonely road, a traveler, a friend, a trust to share beyond the journey's end. AAA insurance for all you love and own. Bring the security of AAA home.
For auto, home, life, and health.
Bring the security of AAA home.
Charles Barkley did not score in the first quarter, missed a couple free throws, and his wife, Maureen, was a little bit concerned.
Let me see if I can read lips. What's wrong with him?
Well, he quickly found the remedy right here.
This probably made her a little happier. Classic Barkley fadeaway.
That's very interesting to see these two players. Robinson, #1 in scoring in the playoffs so far, 34 points a game. Barkley right back of him at #4, averaging 28 points a game. And the #1 and the #2 rebounder so far through the playoffs. Incredible numbers.
It's an odd game in many ways so far. There's only been 3 turnovers, and with this much time played in a crucial Game 3 playoff game, you'd think there'd be more pressure, more turnovers.
Avery Johnson has 2 fouls, so the rookie Corey Alexander is in there, and here comes Robinson with a nice feed to Will Purdue.
Nice aggressive move. I think Bob Hill wants, as I talked about, David Robinson to continue to assert himself, not to come out passively like he did in the first quarter.
It's his day. Wesley Person's got it, a fresh 24 on the shot clock. Chuck Person against Charles Barkley. And doubled by Purdue, and a foul call on San Antonio.
See, Barkley is as good as there is at going up, throwing his body into the defender, holding on to the ball until the foul is called. Watch. The key is to hold on to the ball. There's the body, but stay with the ball. you let go of the ball many times, that foul will not be called.
Barkley's second trip to the line tonight. The Suns struggled from the free throw line. Normally a great shooting free throw team. Second in the NBA regular season. They shot just 70% from the line in Game 2 on Sunday as Sean Elliott will come back in.
You know, Kevin, I was talking to Chuck Daly yesterday, and we were all having a little round table discussion about how Phoenix would do, and almost to the man, it was that San Antonio would come in here and win this game and win it easily. Chuck Daly, in that wonderful gut of his dissent, had said, no, I think Phoenix will win. And you know what? I trust his gut.
Spurs by 2. We've had 5 ties and 2 lead changes. Elliott replaces Chuck Person and draws the defense of his brother, Wesley Person. Corey Alexander. Rebound by Wesley Person. He's been active in the game so far. Getting it from Elliott Perry. And they'll set it up. Robinson.
Great first step.
He picks up his first personal foul.
Great first step. Reminds me of Adrian Dantley's first step. Watch the first step here. Freezes the defender. Little juke, and then a big step. Body by. That's impossible to stop.
And following our Game 3 here in Phoenix, inside the NBA. Right here on TNT. Busy night. New York wins. They sweep their series over Cleveland. Chicago sweeps their first round series over Miami. And as a coach, you know, you get out early in the first round, you rest your players a little bit.
Yeah. If you get out and you're the one that won and you rest your players, and that's kind of a two-edged sword, because you don't want to lose that competitive edge. Right now, the minds wander. You know, it's getting towards vacation time. It's been a long year. You want to play each game all 48 minutes. You want to play 48 minutes of each game, and you want to make sure that your guys are attuned to continue playing. Keep fresh the idea of wanting to continue to play. Try to win 15 games. That's what it's all about. And you know what? It's not easy to do.
And the coaches earn their money.
Oh, do they ever.
We're tied again. Now at 33. Elliott Perry working on Corey Alexander.
You know, you'll always hear me talk about basketball's hidden way to score. When you go into a basketball game, you can plan on getting some extra help in the scoring category by getting your team on the free throw line as early in each period as you can. Phoenix is in the penalty with 8 minutes and 32 seconds left in the quarter. That means every time they're touched, they got a chance to get some scoring without defense.
Tied for the 6th time. Del Negro's been quiet. Avery Johnson playing with a couple fouls. They get it back to Del Negro. Robinson scoreless until the second quarter. The tap in. Sean Elliott, who had 14 in the first quarter, comes up with his first 2 in the second. Kevin Johnson, Charles Barkley.
That's vintage KJ. Shaking bacon.
Del Negro for 3. And the Suns, who have an 18-10 rebounding advantage, come the other way. Barkley for 3.
Bob Hill wants him to run right back at the Suns. He was encouraging his team. Don't worry about that 3. Get back. Make this team get back and play defense. That's where you can beat them. That's what the Hill thinks.
Avery Johnson, a wide open lane.
That's too easy. That's too easy. Smallest man on the court, unchallenged to the basket.
Tisdale to Wesley Person, another triple. The Phoenix Suns hit their 3rd three-point shot in the first half, and they lead it by their biggest margin of 41-37. Robinson. The big names are getting hot.
Well, see, there's the single coverage again. Remember, we saw the KJ double teams early. We saw the jamming of the lane on the weak side. That's not evident anymore from the Phoenix Suns.
First day a little bit outside. Here's what the Spurs do so well. Run, trying to get the Suns back in defensive transition.
You know, Charles Barkley, excuse me, Kevin. Charles Barkley didn't even make it to the opposite side of the jump circle trying to get back in defensive transition.
You said you had fished here before.
You're lost. No. Come on. No. Come on, you can admit it. No. Come on. Tell him I'm not lost.
Check out the 96 rodeos at the greatest Isuzu clearance event going on now.
Rated PG-13. Starts Wednesday, May 22nd.
Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going.
The new home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, just outside the great downtown of a revitalized Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, and this is the story of teams that have come back from a 2-0 deficit. Of course, we all remember the famous statement by Paul Westphal. You know, we're going to go back, we're going to win two, we're going to go there, and we're going to win there. And the whole thing is going to be something that everybody said was a great series. That's what the Phoenix Suns are trying to duplicate again.
Barkley scored the last 11 for the Suns, who lead by 2. Del Negro trying to tie. Rebound by Wesley Person. Del Negro to Robinson against Johnson. Kevin Johnson's got his second foul.
I think KJ was a little frustrated there. They thought Wesley Person was tripped at the other end. Cotton Fitzsimmons. The Cotton Man is hot. Yeah, he really wasn't tripped, but see, it looked like he was tripped by Chuck Person. Well, I understand that it looked that way, but he did not get tripped by Chuck. He tripped himself, but KJ was mad, and he threw a fairly hard foul on David Robinson at the other end.
Spurs by 1. Robinson's got 7. Barkley's got 11. Sean Elliott 16. Halfway through the second quarter. We'll double down on KJ. Elliott takes it away, triggers it out to Del Negro. Travel on Sean Elliott. And that is just the second San Antonio turnover tonight.
It's been a very turnover-free game, but then there hasn't been a lot of defensive pressure. That's the thing that causes most turnovers. There hasn't been a lot of it. You haven't seen a situation where you've got all 5 bodies working together, putting pressure on, nobody jumping passing lanes or anything like that.
Both teams so far about 50% from the field. The miss by Person, the rebound by Vinny Del Negro. Del Negro's got but 2 points.
Chuck Person. That's ridiculous. Here's a guy that's made 6 out of 10 threes in this series alone. He's wide open, and he gets the same kind of shot that you would take in warm-up. Not a defender within 8 feet of him.
And he's 2 of 2 tonight from above the arc. Kevin Johnson to Hot Rod Williams. And the rebound by Williams. No fire in the eye of Hot Rod tonight. Del Negro.
Again, these are open shots. Every shot in the playoffs should be a contested shot.
A.J. and a foul call. Robinson picks up his second foul for the San Antonio Spurs.
Now let's take a look at the transition defense. Look at Charles Barkley. Look at all these guys here. Look at these guys. They're still not back. They're still not matched up.
Is there such concern about inside play that you leave the perimeter free?
No. Say that again.
Is there so much concern about what they're trying to do inside, they're leaving the perimeter free?
No, the bodies aren't back. That's the theory. The theory is if there was an imaginary line that went through the ball, all the bodies that were on offense and are going to become defenders have to get down below that line. You can see they're back on the other side of the line. So then you're not matched up. That's why you're seeing these open shots. Now they're back. See, that time they got back. Now they got matched up. Now they can double team. Now they can play team defense. Now they can challenge shots.
Elliott. Rebound by Purdue, and he puts it in for two. And the Spurs lead by 5, and Purdue is 2 of 2 from the field. Manning. Picked up by Elliott. Avery Johnson's got a lot of options, including Del Negro. Knocked away by Hot Rod Williams, and out of bounds it goes. San Antonio has it, and 4 to play in the second quarter.
33. 33.
Only 7 turnovers in the game. 2 by the Spurs. Nice defense by Barkley, but Person rolls right by him and got the shot away inside.
That's not his strength. He has a very difficult time finishing any kind of a floating move.
Person for 3.
Great challenge by Del Negro.
And a good rebound by the Suns. Rebounding the Spurs by 10, 24 to 14. Manning is left free. The Suns are shooting 43%.
Yeah, but you can see Danny Manning has no lift in those legs. He's just playing on guts and courage alone. He's playing in pain.
Del Negro for the triple. He can't hit it. And a rebound again. Brought down by Charles Barkley. He's got 5 rebounds and 11 points. Nice knock away by a hustling Del Negro. The Suns trailed by 7, went up by 4, now down by 5. We're late in the first half.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Original Coors in the yellow can. There's nothing like the beer from up here. And by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives.
Another rung on the ladder to success. You've got drive, brains, a new toilet brush, and it's your birthday.
Here you go, buddy. A birthday brew.
Don't be surprised by bitter beer. Drink Keystone, America's least bitter beer, so there's never a bad taste, never a bitter face.
Now I've got a little surprise for you.
Stop making faces. Drink Keystone.
You said you had fished here before.
You're lost. No. Come on. No. Come on, you can admit it. No. Come on. Tell me. I'm not lost.
Check out the 96 rodeos at the Great Isuzu Clearance Event, going on now.
Looking for something?
Yeah, that dime from Sprint's long-distance plan.
Having trouble finding it, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the dark.
Well, that's because depending on when you call, the Sprint Sense rate isn't always a dime. In fact, it could be a quarter.
That puts a whole new light on things.
And on average, most people can save more with AT&T True Reach Savings than with Sprint Sense when they spend just $25 a month. So, what do you think?
I think I found what I'm looking for.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
the first quarter saw Sean Elliott hit his first 4 shots, get 14 points in the first quarter, a 7-point lead to 3 at the end of 1. San Antonio on top, and Charles Barkley went on fire. Scoreless in the first quarter, and scored 11 consecutive points early in the second. Phoenix went up by 4. Now they trail by 5. We've got 2:56 remaining in the second. The Suns trail the series. The Spurs on top with the win they could sweep tonight. So it's do or die for Phoenix, and Barkley knows it.
Well, that was just an awesome move inside. You know, some players can take on 2 defenders. He's one of the best in the business.
We have seen 2 series end tonight. Chicago over Miami. The Knicks over Cleveland. Will the Spurs outdo the Suns as Del Negro has the miss, and Barkley again with another rebound. But he coughs it away. Del Negro. Elliott. Now here comes Kevin Johnson. Much more assertive tonight and defensive-minded at times.
Oh, my, what a pass. How do you get that in there? How do you do that? What a great in-traffic pass by Kevin Johnson. Little hesitation, fake freezes the defender. Now he throws a wraparound with a little English on it. Gets it into Charles Barkley. Take a look at this. A reach out, wrap around. He puts spin, which is called English. And it ends up in the hands of Charles Barkley. He gets fouled, finds himself on the free throw line.
Will Purdue picked up the foul. That is his second of the game. Now Barkley, who was scoreless in the first quarter, has come up with his wife Maureen watching in the stands. 14 points in the second quarter.
Well, I think she's a little happier with Sir Charles right now.
Fingers look like pretzels.
Can you imagine, you know, being this involved in a game and going and seeing your husband play 41 home games, 41 away games, playoff games, and be that involved?
Spurs by 1. Robinson is on the bench. Purdue's in the middle, but they got Elliott, who gives to Del Negro, who swings it out to Person for 3. Chuck Person again. Another triple for Person. He's got 3 off the bench.
Yeah, give Chuck Person a lot of credit on that, because Barkley was there, was defending. Good challenge.
Barkley inside. Into Chuck Person. And a foul. Barkley has excited the crowd with a great second quarter. Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller will excite you with guest B.J. Armstrong. They'll have extensive highlights of tonight's action, including Chicago, Miami, and the Knicks in Cleveland, and Utah and Portland going on as we speak. It's all coming up on the Reebok Halftime Report. Ernie, Cheryl, and B.J.
You know, anytime Charles Barkley and Chuck Person play against each other, these 2 guys go all the way back to their years at Auburn University, where they played together for 2 years. When Chuck Person played for me at Indiana, and then we would play the Philadelphia 76ers when Charles was with them, Charles always psyched out Chuck Person. Chuck Person, I think, finally feels that he's in a position where he's on a team where maybe he can, for the first time in his basketball career, have a slight mental edge on Charles Barkley, although Barkley took him inside and schooled him, as Chuck schooled Charles with a great 3-pointer.
Person doesn't back down. Chuck Person has never backed down. Quick double down on Elliott. Now they got the single coverage with rookie Chris Paul. And Elliott will try to school him. Rejected by Barkley. Picked up by Kevin Johnson. Here come the Suns, down by 2 to tie.
Now, if that ball would have bounced out, they should have given Phoenix the basket, because the San Antonio Spurs came down and shook the backboard so much it almost knocked the ball out.
Down by 7 in the first quarter, down by 5 in the second quarter. The Suns have come back and tied the game for the 9th time. Avery Johnson.
Breakdown. KJ turned his head to look at the ball, and he got backdoored by Avery Johnson.
It happens quick.
A couple of quick basketball players out there. Those 2 Johnson guys.
Tisdale. Big rebound for Will Purdue. He's come off the bench with 6 rebounds. Del Negro's been cold and continues that way. Barkley with another rebound. He's got 8. Game clock on the right, shot clock on the left. Winding down the first half here from the America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona.
The idea is for KJ to break down the defender, get some help, and then kick it off. That time he chose to shoot it himself.
San Antonio Spurs lead this series 2-0. They come out and they shoot 48% in the first half, 16 from Sean Elliott, and David Robinson scores just 7. Reebok halftime coming up next with Ernie Johnson of the game back in Atlanta.
Wow, how'd they do that?
Pennzoil Performax 100. 100% synthetic at a breakthrough price.
100% synthetic at a price this low? How'd they do that?
Leave it to Pennzoil to make synthetic affordable.
How'd they do that?
Hey, there's more. An extra $6 rebate on a case. Or $6 off on an oil change by the pros.
How'd they do that?
Pennzoil, a broadcast sponsor of NBC's coverage of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games.
So what's the big surprise?
Knicks tickets. American Express?
I got a little proposition. Whoa! Hey, you got my ticket!
Think again, my friend.
Oh, there!
American Express, the official card of the NBA. I'd have gone to the moon for these.
Tell me about it.
Some people say I've got too much on my mind. Movies, music, toys, correction. There's only one thing in my head. The championship. The championship. Because I got 10 fingers and no rings. And I love jewelry. That's what's on my mind. This is my planet.
You got room for a brother on your planet.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
We've already had a couple of sweeps in the NBA playoffs tonight. San Antonio trying for the hat trick. They're up by 2 over Phoenix, 54-52. Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller and Golden State's B.J. Armstrong in Atlanta with the Reebok Halftime Report. On night 7 of the NBA playoffs, we've got our first conference semifinal matchup. The Bulls and Knicks will hook up in a best-of-7. Both swept their way out of the first round tonight. First up, the Bulls and the Heat from Miami. Michael had some back problems in Game 1, had some in in the last game, and also in Game 3. But he also had 26 points, and the Springs were working just fine. Look at the pass inside to Scottie Pippen. Pippen had 22, 18, and 10, the first triple-double of the playoffs. Big scramble here, and good friends by now. Dennis Rodman and Alonzo Mourning grapple, and a friendly pat from the Worm. Can't do without that. Mourning into the paint. He had 30 on the night, but Miami was basically never in this thing. The Worm with the finish from Ron Harper, 62-44 at the half. Michael venturing into the paint, switching to the left for 2 of his 26, and then to cap it off, treating Keith Askins like a rental car. And it goes. And Alonzo Mourning and the guys are not around here for long. They lose 112-91, another blowout. The average margin of victory in this series was better than 22 points, so the Bulls sweep the Miami Heat. And here's something interesting to consider. Remember the first half of Game 1? Tim Hardaway was huge for Miami as they forged a tie in that game after 24 minutes. He had 26 points in the first half. In the next 10 quarters, Tim Bug had a total of 27. And so that is not exactly what Miami had in mind. And now the question you're all asking, how is Michael Jordan's back? Here's MJ.
You know, I got treatment towards the end of the game. I came out, and Chip wanted to start my treatment very early, and so I can be a little bit more comfortable. I had a tough time sleeping last night. I really couldn't get comfortable. And, you know, it's just going to take a couple more days just to get some treatment, and hopefully it could dissolve a little bit, and I can go back to feeling better.
The Bulls open up the Eastern semis against the Knicks on Sunday. Tonight, the Knicks did away with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who were, well, I mean, they came out and could do nothing right in the first half, and by that time, New York was putting this thing away. Mike Fratello watched this bit of magic as the half approached. Marley tries to put a body on Starks, who just knocks down a three at 15 in the first half. And they're up by 18. Fourth quarter, here comes that Cleveland comeback. Marley ties the game at 70. Here come the Knicks. John Starks shooting 64% from beyond the arc in the series. Knocks down a three at 5 of those tonight. Derek Harper, good hands. 77-70, guys in the white shirts. And Anthony Mason puts the cap on this one in the closing seconds. Bring on the Bulls is exactly right. New York 81-76 over Cleveland to complete the three-game sweep. John Starks with a big night, and the Knicks sweeping Cleveland.
If we go in defensive-minded first, and the rest will follow, because our defense is great when we got our mindset to just play defense and make a team struggle. Can't give them a lot of easy things. They have a lot of options, and if you give them everything, they'll kill you.
Basically the nuts and bolts of playoff defense as explained by Anthony Mason. Now look at the matchups we have presented for us in a best-of-7 series. You know, well, who's going to guard Michael?
Well, I think there's two choices you can go with. You can go with John Starks or you can go with Derek Harper, but I'd like to go with Harper because I believe defensively he can handle Michael Jordan as well as anybody has been able to in the league, but I think he has the best chances. It'll be very interesting to see what Ron Harper does defensively against a very hot John Starks.
You got rebounding on your mind there, BJ, and you think the worm and the oak, and enough said.
I think it's going to be very interesting with those two getting together there in the best-of-7 series. But more importantly, I think when those two match up, who's going to start? Is it going to be Tony Kukoc? Is it going to be Charles Oakley? But on the other end, Tony Kukoc is really going to be neutralized because you're going to need Rodman's rebounding out there to offset what Oakley can do on the offensive glass.
Would there be a concern on the Chicago side about Michael's back now? This is 2 games in a row where it's kind of been bothering him.
Like I said, when the guy's hurt, he plays a lot better. So I wouldn't really worry if I were the Bulls. I'm liking this right now, but you want to see a guy. You don't want to see a guy hurt. You want him to get healthy, and you want him to be full tilt into playoff time.
I think that answers that question sufficiently. When we come back, we're going to head west. Utah looking for the clincher, while the Blazers hope that this one goes the distance. Game 4 from Portland next. It's Sabonis coverage coming up.
Nobody knows the value of protection better than a quarterback. So take it from me. Your car needs protection from the sun. So don't just use any old stuff on the vinyl and rubber. Shine and protect them with Armor All Protector. Test-proof Armor All blocks up to 4 times more of the sun's damaging UV rays than the #2 brand. Shines good, but it's not protection. Let's face it, my head shines, but I still wouldn't play without my helmet. So don't just shine your car, armor it with Armor All.
The Timex Indiglo Nightlight, now in new, smaller styles.
Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going, and
I don't know, but it's been said, athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty Mike. The cooling action. Mighty Mike. Axe on contact, this I know, 'cause that tingle tells me so. Mighty Mike. New Mighty Mike. Stops the itch and cools the burn. Penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Mica 10.
Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khaki.
San Antonio Spurs trying to make it a 3-game sweep of the Phoenix Suns. They lead by a deuce, 54-52, the Reebok halftime report. rolls on. In Game 3 on Monday night, the Portland Trail Blazers stayed alive against Utah, almost in spite of themselves. They shot 34%. They missed 19 free throws. Tonight, Game 4, Utah leading 2-1. Rod Strickland going to work early, into the paint and the jumper, and a 5-point Portland lead. Arvydas Sabonis was perfect in the first half, 5 out of 5 from the field. He had 18 points. He has been a major factor in this series. He was a major factor in Portland's 14-point halftime lead, and now with 5 minutes left in a game that's being played on TBS right now, Portland hanging on to a 12-point lead, 87-75, and looking like a return trip to the Delta Center maybe in the works, PJ, though weird things happened late in this Game 3 the other night.
Yeah, they do, and you never want to look past an opponent, and I'm certainly, Utah was well aware of what the possibilities or what Portland can bring to this game. Portland feels they can beat this ball club. I sense that they really feel if maybe they have taken care of business a little bit better in the first game, that this series could possibly be over tonight. So it's going to be a big game. I think they have the game under control tonight, and I think you're going to see Game 5 up there in Utah.
And that is exactly what Utah doesn't want to do. When you do not take care of business, anything can happen in that one game that determines the first-round winner. San Antonio and Phoenix playing right now on TNT. It's a 54-52 game. The Riflemen sighting one up from way out and knocking it down. We'll be back.
It's a major breakthrough. Formula 2001 Super Protectant provides the most advanced protection against fading, drying, and cracking. And Formula 2001 has more active shining ingredients than Armor All. But what if your car's surfaces are already faded? See how Formula 2001 restores and protects vinyl, rubber, and leather. With more active shining ingredients than Armor All, Formula 2001 is the Super Protectant. And for 12 months of protective shine, get Finish 2001 car polish.
Are you lost in a financial jungle? What you need is someone who knows the ropes. Someone you can count on for advice and financial information. MetLife can help you tame the risks and help you make sense of it all. Get Met. It pays.
Got no shirt, got no shoes, got no coat, so got me the blues. Yeah, I got no shades.
Hey! That's because you got no Pepsi.
Now the more Pepsi you drink, the more stuff you get from the new Pepsi catalog.
Got no mansion, got no yacht.
This might be the end of the blues as we know it.
Drink a lot of Pepsi, get a lot of stuff.
Now you can launch your business into cyberspace with a new toll-free 888 number from AT&T. It gives you all the benefits of an 800 number and a free listing on the internet, where millions of customers can find your number, check out your home page, and order your products.
Your order's flying out the door.
One small step for you, one giant leap for your business. Toll-free 888 from AT&T for the life of your business.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Consider this powerful discovery. Right Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. An astoundingly clear gel. Thus, it goes on clear without any flaky white stuff, protecting one powerfully. For when it comes to protection, one shouldn't mess around. Right Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
These days, it seems we have more and more on our minds, which means we have more and more to forget about. Hey, we could all use a car like Chevy Cavalier. If you're low on oil, it reminds you. If you leave your dome light on, it remembers to turn it off. Heck, even if you forget to lock your doors, you're still protected by Cavalier's theft deterrent system. We've all got enough on our minds. We need a car we can afford and forget about. The car's more American.
A lonely road, a traveler, a friend, a trust to share beyond the journey's end. AAA insurance for all your love and own.
If you have asthma, listen closely. IMTCI, a pharmaceutical research company in Lenexa, Kansas, is currently seeking males and females with asthma to participate in FDA-approved asthma medication research studies. If you qualify, you could receive up to $650 for your participation. To qualify, you must be 4 years of age or older and suffering from asthma. For more information on how to qualify, call IMTCI at 599-2044. That's 599-2044.
San Antonio Spurs have done it, Dick Versace, without a big night from David Robinson as they lead the Phoenix Suns by 2 points.
I think that's been the key. You're Bob Hill. Here's what you want. You got your star coming off a 40-point performance. He shed the soft reputation, and he comes out and has a passive first quarter. That's a problem. Even though they're winning the basketball game, I think it's a problem. Charles Barkley starts slow, but he responds. 17 points at half, and then a big, huge rebounding edge by the Suns. Cotton Fitzsimmons probably isn't happy with the shooting, but I want to say this. He's got to be happy with the energy levels of his guys.
Sean Elliott has had a great first half, a tremendous first quarter with 14 points, but as you see overall, the Suns a commanding lead in rebounding, points in the paint. Spurs have a 10-point advantage there. And there you see some of the free throw percentages, including tonight. With that in mind, let's join Ian Eagle, who is standing by with Cotton Fitzsimmons.
Cotton, your team controls the boards. You also limit David Robinson to 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 encouraging signs.
Well, it's encouraging, but we're still behind. We didn't shoot the ball well. We need to shoot the ball much better, execute a lot better, and take this game right to the Spurs. Don't allow the Spurs to think they can come in America West Arena and win.
Is that what you told your team facing elimination?
I certainly did.
Cotton, good luck.
Thank you.
He's a veteran coach with a veteran team.
Well, Cotton has, been through the wars. I think he understands, the magnitude of the moment probably as well as anyone. Cotton enjoys coaching. He enjoys the limelight. He enjoys the fray, so to speak. But he also knows that he's got a team that for the past 4 years basically was coming to voluntary practices. He's got a team that for the past 4 years has set a new sort of set of rules about how you practice and prepare, and he's tried to change all that in a very short period of time, and he knows that it really hasn't been as successful as he would have liked.
And he told us with this team that is struggling through injuries and age, as a pass around the rim for Barkley is knocked astray, that they need to finish. They did not finish in San Antonio, and that will be a key tonight. Elliott has finished often tonight, but comes up short there.
John Elliott's been just a very, very consistent performer in all 3 of these games. Game 1, Game 2, and again here in the first half of Game 3.
Ron Williams, shot clock down to 6. KJ. Hot Rod couldn't knock it in. Barkley fighting inside with Elliott. Calls it.
Great hustle. Great hustle, Charles Barkley.
You looked at his numbers this afternoon. You said this player is as good as there is right now in the playoffs in the league.
Well, I mean, his numbers are absolutely staggering. 16 rebounds a game. This guy, Charles Barkley, has a heart that probably, when if he ever died and for some reason you had to look at his heart, I'll bet you it's like 3 times the size of the normal human being. He just seems to always be able to call on that great heart of his. Just that little hustle play that we saw there is vintage Barkley.
Portland's on top of Utah. A couple minutes remaining, fourth quarter there. That is a interesting series between the Jazz and the Blazers. KJ working on AJ. It's a foul inside. David Robinson was in the fray, and Charles Barkley.
Look at Charles. He's working.
A little help.
Not only does he work on the court, not only does he work up and down, not only does he work on the boards, watch him work the official. Yes, see? It was on him. Yeah, that's the guy right there. He's the guy. You okay? Good call.
3 fouls on Robinson. As Hot Rod Williams misses, and AJ cleans it up for the Spurs. than a minute gone here in the third quarter. Kevin Johnson shuttles between the outside defense and doubling down on Robinson. Shot clock at 8. Avery Johnson again. Shot clock violation. Ball never hit the rim. It goes back to the Suns.
Now, I don't understand why David Robinson passed up the post-up. I mean, he got the ball inside. He threw it back to Avery Johnson, much like the play that we saw in the open. It was the same play, only he stepped out and asked for the ball on the perimeter. He didn't want to fight inside for some reason.
Phoenix shooting 39% in this game. Wesley Person takes dead aim from 3.
And Sean Elliott put a big challenge. He flew at the shooter, really got after it, closed down on the shooter. Person laced it up anyway.
The second 3 by Wesley Person. The Suns by 1. Charles Smith into Charles Barkley. And a foul on Smith.
Charles Barkley is way too smart for Chuck Person, and he's way too smart for Charles Smith. Very smart defensive play. Watch him work. Step, see, he anticipates that that's his move. He probably has a book that he keeps on every player in the league. Either it's written down or it's in his head because he knows the pet moves.
Kevin Johnson with nothing but net, and Kevin Johnson's got 12.
Suns have stormed back. They're up 3.
They've led by 4. They've trailed by 7. Avery Johnson brings it in. He's got 12. So the 2 guards going head-to-head. Kevin Johnson with 12. Avery Johnson with 12. Good matchup.
The difference being, Kevin, that Avery Johnson is being left alone. Kevin Johnson is getting a lot of attention.
Wesley Person again.
That's a tough shot for Wesley Person. He's not a corkscrew shooter. He's not a creative shot guy in the air.
Rejected by Wesley Person. Picked up, and here come the Suns. Spurs back in transition, and Kevin Johnson is down at the other end and slow to get up. He's got a tender hamstring to begin with. Injury prone that he's been.
This is not a hamstring.
This may be a knee.
He got bumped in the knee. He should be okay.
Barkley to Williams, who forces herself inside, knocked away by David Robinson. 2-on-1. Delmegro to Avery Johnson, and Avery Johnson's got 14.
Kevin Johnson just going wacky out there, screaming for his teammates to dive to the basket, yelling, dive, dive. Now he's explaining it in a little more quiet terms. Let's watch and see where he got here. Nice block by Wesley Person there. Loose ball. There's the banging of the knees there. It's not the hamstring. That hurts. He's in a lot of pain. I see him. He's just screaming. He's very upset. He's upset.
A loss, and the Suns are out. They face elimination if they lose. The Spurs trying to sweep. 8-10 third quarter. Spurs by 1. AC Green to give the Suns the lead. They'll try it again. On a charge.
You got to admire the effort, Kevin. I wonder, here's a guy takes a shot at the corner, from the corner, gets all the way into the paint, gets the second shot. He's right in front of the basket. The man flops, and the charge was called. There may have been a clear out. I didn't see it. Looked like a pretty good shot. Normally, when a guy is that far underneath the basket, they're not going to call the offensive foul. They did that time.
Robinson again. Scoreless in the first quarter. Since that time, he has put on 9 points in his list, but he's playing with 3 fouls. As the Suns trail the Spurs by 3. Barkley's had a big game. And Kevin Johnson tries to call time, and he gets it. The intensity of the playoffs. The Suns facing elimination. Grabbing onto anything they can find.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Dutch Boy Paints. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
things trucks can do, there's one thing that's never been done before. Only Chevy trucks have ever won back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year awards.
There's a place where the humidity can be so thick you can practically cut it with a knife. And spaghetti sauce flies through the air with wild abandon. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we put Dutch Boy kitchen and bath paint through over 70 tests to be sure it resists moisture, peeling, and even staining. All to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
From the Dream Team, Anthony Hardaway.
Penny on the break will drive and slam it in. Hardaway knocks down the...
I'm lucky I'm on the Dream Team. We don't need your help to get to the Olympics, but there are a lot of athletes who do.
Help them get there. Call now. U.S. Olympians receive no financial support from our government. They need yours. Every donor receives official Olympic merchandise.
America West Arena. Game 3 of the 5-game set between the Spurs and the Suns. It's been a battle of Johnson & Johnson at the point.
Yeah, this is the Johnson & Johnson story, but only one has a Band-Aid, and that's Kevin Johnson, because he got hit in the knee, and he's a little sore. But look at the numbers tonight. It's a push. These two guys are going at it. Kevin Johnson having to work much harder for his shots. Avery Johnson is being laid off, and Kevin Johnson is defending, is coming off, and he's the double teamer.
AC Green with the 3, rebound by Charles Smith, who began well, Smith did, and then cooled down. He's been very quiet since.
Well, Charles Smith made a couple of aggressive efforts, and that was it.
Yes, sir. Elliott has been the calling card for the Spurs offense tonight, and Avery Johnson has helped them well. 7 to play, third quarter. Robinson draws the double with Kevin Johnson helping. Elliott again from 3. Foul called on Robinson. He's got 4.
Wow.
4 fouls on David Robinson.
It just doesn't look like David Robinson's mind is here. His body is here. It doesn't look like his mind is here. They just ran a post-up series down on that right block facing the basket. That should be the strength of what they do. He made a couple of gorgeous hook shots coming into the middle. There's no reason he couldn't make 8 or 9 more.
Robinson, 23 minutes, 3 rebounds, 9 points. This from someone who's averaging just under 30 points a game in the first 2 games of this series.
I know, Kevin. He needs a wake-up call.
Kevin Johnson trying to provide the same for Phoenix, and he's done a good job doing it. He's got 14.
He really has, and he's had to work for him, and he's very active defensively.
Smith against Barkley. That's what he did in the first quarter. He rejected by Hot Rod Williams, but that aggressiveness that you were just talking about was so evident earlier.
Well, that time his post-up was so deep there wasn't much Charles could do about it. He got forced underneath the rim, and then once he was under the rim, Charles Smith had an easy basket, or an opportunity, so Barkley had to foul him.
Chevy scoreboard, Chicago sweeps their series, triple-double by Scottie Pippen. New York will host Chicago 81-76 tonight. The New York Knicks over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Portland-Utah series now tied at 2 games apiece with the Blazers tonight, winning by 8.
Well, you know, a lot of people like the way Portland finished the season. Sabonis came on so strong. They brought Strickland back. Supposedly there was a deal cut where he would be traded in the summer if he was unhappy with DJ Carlesimo. And he's been a terror.
Tisdale will check in. Hot Rod Williams will check out. Tisdale, Kevin Johnson, Wesley Person, Charles Barkley. Inbound from AC Green. Barkley has not taken a shot in the third quarter. Wesley Person knocked away by second effort. Back up and hits it.
Oh, Kevin, didn't you like that second effort? Wesley Person, skinny little body inside, working like a pogo stick, getting the ball back.
The Suns trail by 1. There's Avery Johnson again. Rebound by Will Perdue, who again has been magnificent tonight as he was in games 1 and 2. There's Wesley Person again on that stick you were just talking about.
Active.
What, a pogo stick? Is that what you call it?
I think I'm dating myself. It's a little stick. Do you remember those they used to jump up and down on? Well, your dad did. Or your uncle.
Del Negro with the floater inside, and he gets him to go himself. He's got 6.
There's the pick and roll. Bob Hill said that the Phoenix Suns scored on them 60% of the time by running pick and roll. They haven't run that much of it tonight.
Nice transition defense by the Suns. Got back, clogging up Del Negro, who throws up a wild shot. Another rebound, the 8th collected by Will Perdue. Avery Johnson.
You see, when Avery Johnson shoots the ball, look at this. The ball was just sort of casually thrown into the half court. Nobody went to pick it up.
Barkley with his first shot of the 3rd quarter, and he makes it count. Charles Barkley with 19.
One thing you can always count on, Charles Barkley always knows the score, the time, the shot clock, the game situation, who's in foul trouble. He's got great mental presence on the court.
Will Perdue into Barkley. Travel by KJ, and a nice defense, and a 3-second violation called.
He changed his pivot feet more times than I've ever seen done in such a short period of time. But they called 3 seconds.
Kevin Johnson wearing the pad now on that left knee, which was injured earlier in this 3rd quarter. Bruised, but he's back out there. And he has played possession. Tisdale gets his own miss. And a foul inside. Charles Smith picks it up for the San Antonio Spurs. He has 4 fouls. Like David Robinson's 4. So now they face that problem to contend with, Dick, in the final 4:03 of the 3rd and the entire 4th.
Well, you know, you've got two key guys with 4 fouls. I don't know if you want to call Charles Smith a key guy, you know, in this series based on how he's played. He's only averaged 4 points a game, but he is a starter. David Robinson with 4 fouls. It's going to be a factor late in this basketball game.
They leave Smith in the game. They bring in Chuck Person, and here is Charles Barkley.
Bob Hill is incensed. Absolutely incensed. He wanted to travel there. I thought it was pretty good footwork. Let's take a look. Barkley's backing down Charles Smith. Kept his dribble. Yeah, he did change his pivot feet there. But he was so smooth in doing it. Sometimes if you're smooth, you can get away with it.
And Charles Smith draws his 5th personal foul. Smith will take his seat, and the former Houston Rocket, Carl Herrera, who has been very quiet this season for the San Antonio Spurs, but a 2-time champion with the Rockets, comes in the game.
Yeah, he used to be a valuable player for the Rockets. He got hurt at the end of the last season that he played with them. He didn't play much. And he sort of kind of dropped off the map and ended up in San Antonio, but then has not surfaced as a player of any note. Now he's in the basketball game. Corey Alexander's played a little bit. We're starting to see guys who have not even been involved in this series now getting a little time.
And we find ourselves in the midst of the 10th tie of the ball game. 3.5 in the 3rd. Avery Johnson on Person. Read the mismatch but couldn't convert. And Barkley's got his 10th rebound. Kevin Johnson, he finds it open.
Oh, sweet. Did you see the change of pace there? The little hesitation dribble.
The Suns by 2.
The Lazarus Man, Saturday at noon and 9 on TNT.
I do not drive to work. I do not drive to get from point A to point B. I do not drive to run away from the world. I just love to drive.
The new 1996 Monte Carlo. Personal space from Genuine Chevrolet. The cars more Americans trust.
$6.99 for a complete meal?
Yeah, $6.99.
Great.
Drop the drink.
Want a complete meal that includes desserts and beverages? Old Country Buffet has what you want, all for one low price.
You dropped your beverage.
Old Country Buffet, we're real close to home.
Island toll booth looks like a 30-minute delay here.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here's $20.
I'm sorry your table wasn't ready. Your dinner will be free.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything were guaranteed like your cable service? Guaranteed picture quality, on-time installation, on-time service appointments. Too bad everything isn't guaranteed like American Cablevision.
Sorry we're late, folks. This flight will be free.
Now watch this. This is a thing of beauty. Kevin Johnson looks like he's stopped. 1, 2, 3 guys. But watch. A little hesitation. And he explodes to the basket.
And he comes up with his third consecutive field goal. He's got 16 points in the game. And the Suns lead by 2. Chuck Person over his brother Wesley Person. He ties it.
Yeah, they used to do that on a dirt playground in Brantley, Alabama, where the two Person brothers grew up. A tiny little town in Alabama. Produced 2 NBA starters.
Then Johnson looks for Barkley. Person draws the foul.
Now watch the reaction. Charles Barkley does not realize that the travel has been called here. He's going to come back out. Now look, Chuck Person, this is an old Auburn matchup here. These two guys have known each other for years, a decade, but the travel that time was called on Barkley.
11 ties. Elliott with the great looking up shot inside, and he has 18. 14 in the first quarter. 4.6.
So you see, Kevin, the Suns have no matchup for Sean Elliott.
Barkley in Person again. This time, Charles gets the foul out of Chuck Person. And the two exchange a little bit of conversation there on the baseline. Well, the NBA playoffs continue tomorrow night on TNT when the Atlanta Hawks try to clinch their series against the Indiana Pacers at 7 Eastern. Then the Houston Rockets and Los Angeles Lakers on TNT will battle in Game 4 of their best-of-5 series. It's the NBA playoff doubleheader tomorrow night on TNT. Barkley scoreless in the first quarter. 23 points since.
I'll tell you what I know about the Person-Barkley confrontation. Barkley's going to win it. And it really has nothing to do with the quality of these two players, these ex-teammates. It's just that Charles Barkley has always had the psych, the whammy on Chuck Person. And if I were Bob Hill, I would not, if I want to have Chuck Person around late in the game to make a three, I wouldn't have him guarding Charles Barkley for any length of time.
Person to miss as the Suns try to tighten their defensive screws. Here comes Barkley with his 11th rebound. 55 in the third. Barkley for 3. And the rebound collected by Carl Herrera.
You know, that's when you call settling for the jumper. He was tired. He knew he'd work to get the rebound. He got up, but he found that he had Carl Herrera on him. Instead of backing him down and taking Carl Herrera to the basket, he settled for the jumper.
Avery Johnson with the rebound coming from A.C. Green. What a pass inside by Kevin Johnson. That had some smoke on it.
That was sweet. That was sweet, my dear. Now watch, Kevin Johnson is kind of readjusting himself on the perimeter, always with his head up, dribbling. Head up, and the flash pass inside. Barkley on the backside. Couldn't quite get it down.
Berkeley from the line tonight, 11 of 13 and 81% in the playoffs from the stripe. That is the 19th try from the line for the Suns. As you see Marine Parker watching from the stands. The San Antonio Spurs, Dick, 5 of 5 from the free throw line tonight.
Free throws I think are going to be a factor, as this game unwinds. Both of these teams have guys who will clutch up in clutch situations late in the game. In particular, Barkley, who's known for making one of the 2 important ones.
Suns by 1. Elliott on Green and a foul. Oh, I call it traveling violation on Elliott. That is only the 6th San Antonio turnover tonight.
Some of the players were telling me that the travel call has been an area of emphasis with the officials, and they're all aware of it. The players are aware of it, but they've got some habits. Wesley Person. He's feeling it.
He nails the 4th three-point shot for the Suns tonight. Timeout taken by San Antonio, and Bob Hill's got a lot on his mind. The Suns equal their biggest lead of 4. It's 70.
I don't know why he called it full timeout right now. He's going to get a full at the quarter. He should change that to a 20.
And they have.
Yeah, they have changed it to a 20. We've just been notified.
Bob Hill told us this morning that yesterday he conducted what he said was his best practice.
And my reaction to that in our meeting was what?
They're going to lose.
They're going to lose.
That's what you said.
Now watch Wesley Person. He's been feeling it all night, stroking the beautiful 3. That time he got a little window. He's got a hair trigger, a quick release. He only needs a little bit of a window to get it off.
And let's send it over to Wesley Person's mom, Mary Person, along with our Iron Eagle.
Well, Mary, how tough has it been sitting up here and watching your 2 sons go head-to-head? Tough to not get a rooting interest.
Well, I tell you, I can't say anything about either one of them because I'm glad to see them both play against one another. But, just going, with them, it's hard.
Chuck told us that you'd root for Wesley because he's the baby. Is he right?
No. That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. But, no, I'm like this. If I'd rather not root for either one of them, you see, because that's put me on the spot with both of them. So, I'm happy for both of them.
Good luck, Mary. Absolutely.
I'm happy for both of them.
Kevin and Dick, she's a winner either way you look at it.
Yeah.
Well, Wesley may be the baby. She was actually holding Wesley's baby up there in the stands. He's talking Mary Person, mother of Wesley and Chuck Person. They got Avery Johnson at the free throw line for the Spurs, who trail by 4. WC Green picks up his 3rd personal foul. This was some kind of game.
I've loved the ebb and flow of this game, and I like the way the teams have settled down. You're not hearing the criticism from Coach Persace on the transition defense anymore because both teams are doing a better job of forcing 5-on-5 play. I think you're going to see, and you are seeing challenge shots. You're not seeing those wide open, easy jumpers that I was talking about earlier in the game, and this is turning into a whale of a basketball game. Here's that end of the quarter play, the EOQ that Phoenix likes. High pick and roll.
3rd quarter coming to a close. Green trying to beat the buzzer. Knocked away by Carl Herrera, who draws the foul for the San Antonio Spurs. WC Green's first trip tonight. And again, you got to look at the disparity in free throw shooting as Green has not scored but helped on the boards. 20 free throw attempts by the Suns. The Spurs with just 7.
Well, it goes back to the thing that I was talking about. Get on the bonus early in each quarter. If you get on the bonus early, it becomes like a hidden way to score. It's not anything the other coach goes into the game saying, okay, I'm going to try to defend the free throws this team is going to get. It doesn't work like that. Nobody thinks about it. But some coaches go in and they do things in the course of each quarter to try to get on that bonus as early as you can. I know I used to tell my guys, especially when we would have 8 or 9 minutes, of bonus, I would say take the ball to the basket. Let's run post-ups. Let's run pick and rolls. Let's get in the lane. Let's get live. And let's get ourselves on the free throw line, especially if you have a good free throw shooting team.
Right.
I don't know if you're Portland if you want to do that.
Although they improved as the season went on.
Yeah, they've been better in the playoffs.
Green. Suns have their biggest lead. Elliott trying to beat the clock, and he won't do it. So the Phoenix Suns trying to beat elimination. They're down 0-2 in this best of 5. Lead by 5 at the end of 3.
It's time you settled down and got married.
A little proposal to make.
A wife, a family,
Kathy.
maybe a job.
Here, drink something.
Thanks.
Bitter beer, baby.
Get protection against bitter beer. Drink Keystone, America's least bitter beer. So there's never a bad taste, never a bitter face.
We could still date other people, right?
Stop making faces. Drink Keystone.
When we developed our advanced handling and driver control system, we looked to Lexus and BMW. But we didn't stop there. Chevy Blazer with the exclusive driver control system. Even if you never take it this far, it's nice to know it's there.
Some people say I've got too much on my mind. Movies, music, toys, correction. There's only one thing in my head. The championship. The championship. Because I got 10 fingers and no rings. And I love jewelry. That's what's on my mind. This is my planet.
You got room for a brother on your planet.
We're hot and wow. Call Domino's now.
There's only one pizza that makes my picky taste buds go ooh, ooh, ooh. It's Domino's Pizza. Just the way Domino's does it. That crust with that pepperoni, those zesty herbs. I like the deep dish crust, the hand-tossed crust, any Domino's crust. Just crust, crust, crust. You've got to try your favorite toppings and tons of cheese on that Domino's crust. It's your turn. For hot and wild, call Domino's now. And in a few minutes, you'll know what I mean.
Phoenix Suns have their first lead after 3 quarters in the series. They're on top by 5. Biggest lead tonight, 76-71.
I think the big factor is that they're playing better defense, and it's reflected in what San Antonio is doing offensively. Only 17 points in the third quarter, 39% from the floor, and Phoenix also forced 4 turnovers. That's what good defense will do for you.
Barkley with 25, scoreless in the first quarter. 25 points and 12 rebounds in the second and third quarters combined. Robinson back in. He's got 9. He has been absent tonight as Chuck Person tries a 3, but comes down afterwards and may have twisted an ankle. He's got 4 3-point shots, and Chuck Person tonight with 16. Danny Mann playing at about 60%. Shows it on that play. Del Negro the other way. Two-point game. Spurs trying to tie with Robinson against Williams.
There's that hook. It's been there all night. That hook has been there all night. He just has not elected to go after it. It looks like he's stepping up.
9 points through 3 quarters, and he comes up with the big one here to tie the game at 76.
And along with 3 rebounds, but only 4 out of 9 from the field entering the fourth quarter. That's not what you call an assertive leader.
With Dick Versace and Iron Eagle, Kevin Harlan, courtside America West Arena with our TNT crew, and what has been a tremendous game. The Spurs trying to sweep. The Suns trying to stay alive. Phoenix down by 1. Early fourth quarter. Danny Manning.
I think the Danny Manning watch is something that Cotton Fitzsimmons has to be very careful about. Danny Manning is really hurting out there. He's a liability on defense, and he's not been very effective, save that one shot on offense.
Person to Robinson for the lead. Fouled by Hot Rod Williams.
That's a good foul. I think that's a good challenge foul. It's not a typical Phoenix foul. Don't give any easy baskets. Put them on the free throw line. Now Robinson looks like he's coming to life here. Now this is more of what I expected to see from him. The in-out into the post, back out to the perimeter, back into a reposted player, and then a strong challenge to the basket, ending up in a tough foul by John Hot Rod Williams.
Better defense tonight by the Phoenix Suns, obviously. They've gotten back on transition bit by bit better as this game has gone along.
Yeah, they seem to be getting stronger instead of weaker, and their commitments, their resolve seems to be better. There's Manning again inside. Single coverage, Chuck Person.
And Danny Manning's at 2 in a row.
Yeah, and the exact same move. He knew that he could fool Chuck and freeze him with that move, and he came back and did it again. Smart basketball.
Robinson again. They're going to him often in this fourth quarter, and a traveling violation. For the Spurs, just their 7th turnover tonight for Coach Bob Hill. Perry, Manning, Carr, Williams, Wesley Person, the Phoenix 5. Hot Rod Williams. That's a travel inside.
Oh, my.
The Phoenix Suns on top by 1 with 2 minutes gone here in the fourth.
Once again, Jeep Grand Cherokee has emerged as four-wheeled and off-road magazine's 4x4 of the year.
You look at a garage a lot differently when you see who it belongs to, especially Sears Garage, where right now you can get free installation on all road handler shocks. When you need a good garage, take a look at ours, Sears Auto Center.
Today's automobile has as much computer power as Apollo 13.
So you want a repair shop where they have the expertise to service these complicated systems. You want Midas. There's no place like it on Earth.
Yeah. They say it's all right. They say it's all right. Say it's all right. Have a good time, 'cause it's all right. Everybody knows that it's all right. Whoa, it's all right.
Well, here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. We have not seen very high shooting percentages by either team. San Antonio 46%, Phoenix 42%. But the Spurs have outdone them in the paint by 12 points.
It's kind of interesting because the Spurs have more points in the paint, but the Suns have more rebounds. Usually there's a correlation there. If you're going to get more rebounds, usually you're getting more offensive rebounds, and that's where you get your stickbacks. But sometimes points in the paint can come off of fast breaks in other ways, loose balls, that type of thing.
9:40 remaining in this fourth quarter.
I think Cotton Fitzsimmons has to start thinking about whether he wants to double David Robinson. He says he doesn't like to do it. Robinson lit him up for 40 in game 2.
Single coverage, Williams against Robinson. Rebound by Wesley Person. In the rebounding category tonight, the Suns plus 14, 44-30.
You're certainly not going to double him if he's going to settle for the jump shot out there, unless he's banging him down. And you want to do that with David Robinson. You want to make him hit that jump shot first. Many nights it's there, some nights it's not. The way he's played, he's been very, very kind of unpredictable tonight. He's had energy at times. Other times, he's been absent.
Elliott Perry with the move by Avery Johnson. Who can't hit? Sean Elliott gets the rebound for San Antonio. Down to 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is going to evolve into a power game here. It's going to be punched inside. They're going to their horse.
And again, single coverage with Williams against Robinson with another miss.
He just missed the shot. Pretty good physical defense inside.
Chris Carr, the rookie, with the miss, and Chuck Person, the rebound ahead to Robinson, and a foot race with Perry.
Nobody protected the backcourt. Chris Carr took a difficult shot. I know Cotton Fitzsimmons is not happy about the rookie taking that shot with the situation. You got an 80-81 game. He takes a difficult shot, and then nobody protects the backcourt.
Manning's at 2 in a row, missing there. Chris Carr taps it up and in.
Maybe you'll leave him in a little bit now.
He was looking down the bench when he took that difficult shot. Coaches now have a tendency to say, oh, let's let him play a little bit.
Robinson, single covered again by Williams. No help, and that time he comes up with 2.
That's a virtually unstoppable shot. He's about 2 feet in front of the rim. He's got this move where he drops that right leg across the lane and takes a huge step with it. And then when he swings his left leg around, he's got some space. It's a space maker shot.
Danny Manning. And that is an incredible move when you consider that he's playing in a horrible left knee, terrible tendonitis, and about 60% tonight.
Yeah, I admire him. He's played through pain this whole game.
Robinson, 9 points this quarter, 9 points in the previous 3 quarters, but he travels right there.
It's really interesting how the officials have locked in on traveling calls. I mean, I'm not saying that shouldn't be done, but they are very consistent. Throughout these playoffs, in all series, the travel call is something that they're locked in on. You pay a price for fundamentals.
Barkley will come back in, joining Williams and Danny Manning on the front line. The backcourt of Wesley Person and Kevin Johnson. Elliott, Robinson, Person up front, Del Negro, Avery Johnson for the Spurs. Hot Rod Williams. Charge on Hot Rod, who's playing with a bad right leg. He had nerve damage early in the season, which forced him to miss 10 games. And he's got the bad wrist, the bad right wrist.
See, Hot Rod on that play decided, I'm going. And then he knew he was in trouble because he clearly charged.
In South Dallas, a lot of folks like to work on their cars, and a lot of them come to AutoZone. They save money on top quality parts, and they find helpful people like Rocky Brown. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Rocky's the kind of guy folks go out of their way to see. He's good at solving problems, and he really knows his parts. You see, when it comes to giving the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite.
It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine. You do not belong in my house. Though you show up every morning. I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you.
If only for an instant. Even if it's just for an instant. Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
At Radio Shack, we carry thousands of electronic parts and accessories. Accessories that make what you already own work better, sound better, play better.
Help! Help!
Just tell us what you need.
Help!
We've even got those hard-to-get items. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
The NBA playoffs, Pacers Hawks, tomorrow at 7 on TNT.
Watch Watch David Robinson here. It's an interesting sequence. He feels he's fouled. So what he does is he stays to complain to the official. That's not good. That's a complaint lag. Now he's trailing the play. Chris Carr misses. Now, Wesley Person is the deepest man. His first step should be this way. Instead, watch Wesley Person go to the ball. Now David Robinson can outrun easily Elliott Perry and score. Protect the backcourt.
Robinson has caught fire here in the fourth quarter. 9 points in this quarter alone. 9 points total before in the first, second, and third. Avery Johnson, he's got 19.
Can't forget about him. That's the thing about this kid. He's got his head in the game, Avery Johnson. If you forget about him, he's going to hurt you.
Portland tonight winning that series tied at 2 apiece. Danny Manning has caught fire in the fourth quarter. 5 of 10 for the game and 10 points, and 8 of them in this fourth.
Well, he feels like he's got a fish. Anytime you feel like you got a fish, a guy you can score on, you go fishing.
Put the worm on the hook.
You got it.
Robinson, who was doubled that time. They came down on him hard. Manning was there, and foul is called inside. They put it on Hot Rod Williams.
See, when you're going to double team David Robinson, you can't come that late. He's already into his move. You've got to come much earlier. And I think if Cotton has decided either out of a timeout or maybe he wants to intersperse some double teams, he's got to do what other teams do. He's got to send that double team early. You got to make David Robinson pass out of the double team, maybe send size towards him, and then go ahead and get on your high horse and get some running into those rotations and see if you can challenge some of the shots as the ball is moved around the perimeter.
Manning draws the double. Inside it goes. Kevin Johnson takes it back out. Avery Johnson is on him. Big rebound, the 5th tonight for David Robinson. Del Negro's been quiet with 6.
Williams has done a good job of getting him off the post. He did not get a good low post-up position.
Single coverage again, kicking it out to Elliott, who's been hot. 5 to shoot for Sean Elliott. Rebound by Hot Rod Williams.
That was very good defense. He met the offensive player early as he was coming down the court, pushed him out into the wood.
Suns down by a point. Manning for the lead.
Oh, he's talking to it. He's talking to that piece of leather. It cried and it fell.
5.5 in the fourth. 12 lead changes in this quarter alone. Robinson inside. Elliott on the fly. Sean Elliott hits for 20 points. Robinson's got 20. Avery Johnson 19. 13 fourth quarter lead changes.
Sean Elliott's got the whole package. He's got the tweener. He can take it to the cup and dunk. And he's got the great perimeter shot.
Suns turn it over for just the 12th time tonight. Spurs have 8 turnovers.
From that standpoint, Kevin, it's been a very well-played game, although the defensive pressure hasn't been great until the second half. Look at this work in the low post. He's got him out. Williams has got him out. There's a little momentary double team, helped by Barkley.
Spurs back on defense. Person inside against Elliott. The tap-in try no good, and a whistle.
This is great defense. You see, John Williams made David Robinson get the ball way out on the perimeter, in the wood, I call it. And now the drop down help by Barkley. Now you're off to the races.
Chuck Person the foul. He's got 4. 4.5 to play. San Antonio 89. Phoenix 88. Manning, a great fourth quarter, but a good defensive play by Sean Elliott.
Tough shot. Very tough shot. He had a better defender on him.
Manning saves it. Kevin Johnson takes it. Quick double on Kevin and back out to Manning. Hot Whitlock turns it over.
See, if Cotton had a choice right now, if he got some good mileage out of Manning. He got those 4 baskets. Now he got to steal from him. He's a little tired. He's on weak, injured legs. Get some fresh legs in there.
Phoenix has the lead by 1. Wesley Person has 23 points. His best game in this best-of-5 playoff series. Suns trying to stay alive, up by 1. 3:42 to play.
Recently, Jeep engineers made an amazing discovery.
We found it.
Yeah. The perfect way to improve our 4-wheel drive system.
And one discovery led to another.
Wow. Our new suspension enhancements perform great out here.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee. 4-Wheeler Magazine's 4-Wheeler of the Year.
Amazing.
The dual airbags?
Yeah.
Obviously, our engineers didn't miss a thing.
TNT Original Motion Pictures. They capture the fire of who we are and who we want to be. Coming soon to TNT, Crazy Horse. TNT, the best movie studio on television.
They've carried your bologna sandwiches, PB&J's on white, and Mom's special tuna salad. Punch, Starsky, Hutch and the Angels. Only the coolest shows made it to the metal screen. You carried them then, we carry them now. TNT's Lunchbox TV. You can still see your lunch pail friends weekdays on TNT.
The lead has changed hands 14 times in this fourth quarter. Phoenix by 1. This one of many games tonight. Out east tonight, Chicago beat Miami 112-91. Chicago sweeps the series. They'll take out the New York Knicks, who beat Cleveland in 3 games tonight, 81-76 at Madison Square Garden. If San Antonio wins tonight, they win the first round series, sweeping the Suns. Phoenix trying to say something about that. What has been an inspired effort. The shot clock is at 7 for Del Negro. Person from way downtown. Del Negro somehow got the ball and keeps it alive.
Unbelievable hustle by Vinny Del Negro. 2 Suns players just watched the ball bounce around. They thought they had it easily.
Robinson, he's been great this fourth quarter. And again, just the single coverage, and again he misses.
I thought he took a good shot. He just missed it. Both teams have 3 full timeouts. Neither team has a 20. But interestingly enough, the Spurs have 3 fouls to give. They can be more aggressive on defense.
Danny Manning has made 10 of Phoenix's 16 fourth quarter points.
That little rest that he got at the timeout was very, very effective.
The Suns by 3 with under 3 to play.
Oh, wow, this is excellent.
It's Easy Deck Wash from Amarol.
Oh, cool.
It's easy, it's fast, it's amazing. But then again, it's from Amarol. Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going.
Picture this, a romantic comedy written and directed by me, starring you and Tyra Banks, be a smash.
Yeah, that's fine, Spike. Listen, Spike, no disrespect, but I'm trying to watch my main man Penny dismantle the Knicks.
What's up, Spike? What's up?
Hey, Penny, pass it to Nick. No, not Nick. Horace. Penny, pass it to Horace. He's open. On the baseline. On the baseline. What? 5 seconds.
Penny. Thanks a lot.
Hey, just trying to help a man. Now, Spike, about that film. Is this an action flick? Because I do my own stunts.
Honey, are you okay?
I'm fine. Relax. It's not broken. The doctor said I was pretty lucky.
Does it hurt? What'd they give you?
Tylenol. Extra strength.
Really?
Yeah.
With everything they have here?
The Tylenol is working great. Let's go home.
In hospitals, emergency medicine doctors recommend Tylenol the most.
You sure you're okay?
I'll be fine. But we should talk about the car.
There's that all-Auburn matchup inside. Chuck Person on Charles Barkley. Barkley backing him in. There's the spin move. There's the challenge by David Robinson, but out of nowhere, Danny Manning, well rested from the timeout. Todd Fitzsimmons had called a timeout, saw that Danny Manning was tired, got him a little rest, got another unexpected burst of points from Danny Manning, who's been sensational on injured knees throughout this fourth quarter.
12 of the 16 Phoenix points in the fourth quarter have belonged to Danny Manning, and the rebounding advantage strictly in favor of the Suns by 15. Elliott, better defense by the Suns tonight. Chuck Person takes it inside.
He'll surprise you sometimes. He's got more hops than you think. And occasionally, Chuck, Charles Person hooks it up and jam.
The Suns by 1. 2:08 to play in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. A rare miss, but a big rebound by Hot Rod Williams.
Very good decision by Hot Rod Williams to get the ball back out, get something set. Oh, change of pace. Oh, what a freeze job.
Kevin Johnson with 18 points, and none prettier than that right there.
That was gorgeous. Single coverage.
Again. Robinson. Robinson has 22. He has 12 in this quarter.
It makes you wonder if he's this effective. Why wasn't he getting the ball like this in the first and second quarter?
That gets back to what you led off the telecast with tonight. Has he proven himself as a guy who in crunch time can answer the call?
He's going to get an opportunity tonight because Bob Hill is going to him exclusively down the stretch.
Barkley for 3 over Robinson. Avery Johnson. What about that shot?
I hated it. I'll be honest with you. I hated it. It was not a good shot. He's not a good three-point shooter, but he insists on shooting it. Normally, sometimes he just can't resist.
Shot clock at 7. Sean Elliott for 3. And a big rebound saved by Manning.
No numbers.
Nice defense by the Spurs to get back. The Suns by 1. The Spurs trail 94-93, and a timeout for San Antonio. Kevin Johnson with 18 points. He's come up big all night long, and this one was just absolutely spectacular.
Well, you see, what happened is Avery Johnson thought that Kevin Johnson was going left, and he overcommitted, and Avery Johnson became a deer frozen in headlights as Kevin Johnson bolted down the lane for an easy basket, the go-ahead basket.
This game has had a lot of interesting wrinkles to it. They consistently play Robinson one-on-one. He's been no better than 50%, so maybe the gamble is paying off just a bit for Phoenix.
Well, I think what Cotton has done, early in the game we saw Kevin Johnson, he was the designated double-up man. So any post play, he went in. He was getting tired, Cotton went away from that. Then they played straight up for a while. Then they did what you call help and recover. That's when Barkley comes off the perimeter. Remember when he got the steal from David Robinson? And then it mixed into a single coverage. And so what David Robinson has had to face is a variety of things, and it's been somewhat effective, and it's kept him off balance. Right now, though, he has had a fairly steady taste of single coverage, and he's responding.
So we talk about Barkley and we talk about Kevin Johnson, but the effort in the fourth quarter by Danny Manning, who is coming off a completely reconstructed knee, a player who has had both knees completely redone, the first professional basketball player ever to go through those 2 procedures, and coming back with a little bit of tendonitis, enough that he can hardly practice.
Apparently that's common, when you have reconstructive surgery, that you're going to develop tendonitis. But I'm interested right now in what's going to happen in this basketball game and what went on in those 2 huddles. I think we can rest assured in crunch time that Bob Hill is going to go to David Robinson. I think he wants to establish throughout the playoffs that he's going to be able to do this, much like Houston goes to Hakeem Olajuwon. On the defensive end, the Phoenix Suns have a decision to make. Do they go single coverage? Do they double team David Robinson and take a chance on a pass out to a Chuck Personsworth 3 or Sean Elliott or Vinny Del Negro? All the good shooters are in right now. It'll be interesting to see what choice is made. I think that there's going to be some kind of double team inside. Look at this.
And Robinson falls down and finally gets up. And Kevin Johnson playing a little double down. Now the single cover.
There's the double, but it came way late.
And they call the jump ball. What great defense by the Phoenix Suns.
John Hot Rod Williams looked like the WCW there. I don't know who he was, Ric Flair or somebody, but it was a huge wrestling match. Both people went to the canvas. Hot Rod to the canvas. DR, David Robinson to the canvas. They got up. They kept battling. Finally, this whole series ends up in a jump ball. 12.7 seconds left. Suns up by 1. Timeout.
And Phoenix will take it. They have a jump ball. 12 seconds remaining in regulation. The Suns trying to avoid elimination, and Bob Hill trying to sweep Phoenix by 1.
The NBA playoffs. Pacers Hawks tomorrow at 7 on TNT.
Budweiser.
Cherokee, four-wheel and off-roads 4x4 of the year.
The Suns lead by a single point. We've got a jump ball right in front of the Phoenix bench. Both teams have a foul to give, but take us inside each huddle.
Well, it depends on who's going to end up getting the possession here, but if the possession goes to San Antonio, Bob Hill is either going to call a timeout or he's already set up the play that he wants if his team gets possession. He has a foul to give. Suns have a foul to give. If the Suns get possession of the ball, I would think that Bob Hill has told his guys, you got to foul right away. They're going to foul right away. If the situation is that the Spurs get control of the ball, I think they'll go quickly to a post-up for Robinson, but look for a back pick on the weak side where Robinson becomes a passer rather than a scorer. There may not be time to get that done. It just depends on how this thing unscrambles.
The Spurs have a timeout. The Suns have 2 timeouts. And Iron Eagle has just confirmed what you just said, Dick. Robinson and Hot Rod Williams to jump it. Spurs have it. Quickly the timeout. They should have about 11 seconds on that clock. It looked like a couple tenths of a second rattled off, but they've got enough time. They trail by 1. So now let's go to your back pick you were talking about before.
Well, what he likes to do is he likes to make you think, and he's going to go to what you would predict he would do, and he likes to run some sort of secondary scoring opportunity. So one of the things that he likes very much is a back pick on the weak side. It could involve a smaller man, Avery Johnson, picking a larger man so that the switch wouldn't be effective when the larger man receives the pick. That's all on the weak side. What'll happen is the ball will be thrown into David Robinson. The pick will be set on the weak side. Robinson becomes a passer rather than a scorer, and he becomes more of a decoy than the primary offensive threat.
How does Phoenix defend that?
Well, I think what Phoenix has to do is they have to be very careful. They have to be very careful that they don't fall victim to thinking that it's only going to be David Robinson that gets the ball. That's a crucial thing for Phoenix. They've got to play straight up defense right away. They have to have a plan on what they're going to do in the post. I think they probably are going to double team early because they think David Robinson will have to now pass out of a lot of traffic.
David Robinson has had 13 points in this fourth quarter. Coming up after the game inside the NBA, and what a busy night it has been. 2 series are finished. The Knicks over Cleveland, Chicago over Miami. Vince Cellini and crew will take you through a very busy night. Preview what's coming up tomorrow.
Sometimes, Kevin, if there's more time, Bob Hill will set a down screen on the weak side and then have the guy that received the down screen turn around and go back and set an up screen. But with 11 seconds, there may not be time to do all of that. What you're going to have here, I believe, is that Robinson will be the first option, and then Elliott would be the second option.
Chuck Person, Robinson, Del Negro, Avery Johnson, and Sean Elliott for the Spurs. Delay a game called on Manning. An intentional play. Barkley, Hot Rod Williams, Manning, Kevin Johnson, and Wesley Person for the Phoenix Suns. He just gets it in. And a foul called on John Williams trying to defend one-on-one David Robinson.
When David Robinson had to come that high to get the ball, Hot Rod Williams should have backed off of him. Instead, he moved forward and then went for the steal, but he had a foul to give, so it wasn't a bad play.
8 seconds left. Del Negro. Elliott for the series. And the Phoenix Suns stay alive. The Phoenix Suns stay alive. Barkley, Iron Eagle.
A mad scramble at the end. Danny Manning, your team able to survive in this one. It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy at all, but you know, we had a lot of guys to come in and make plays for us tonight. We were very fortunate that San Antonio didn't make one of those looks they had at the end, but you know, we extended the series, and that's what we wanted to do tonight.
You hit some big shots in the fourth quarter. You were feeling it there.
My teammates came to me. I missed some earlier. They thought we had a mismatch down low. Thought I'd be able to shoot over the guys, and I got a couple shots to drop for me.
Danny, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Danny Manning and the Suns get the game they needed, survive, and move on. Game 4 is coming up. Kevin and Versace.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. And Charles Barkley, you stay alive with the great effort tonight.
We didn't play great, but we played well enough to win. The Spurs have a very good team. We're fortunate they missed those last 2 shots, and we live to play another day.
Another day.
All right, Charles, when you batted the ball at the end there, did you think that there was less time than there was? Because Vinny ended up getting a pretty good shot after you batted it.
I couldn't get it, so I wanted to just hit it as far as I could, to be honest with you. If I don't get it, I want to make sure nobody around the basket get it, because they had plenty of time left. I knew they had a couple seconds, but we were very fortunate.
All right, let me ask you this. Cotton said this. He needed an aggressive, assertive game out of KJ. He needed scoring from unexpected sources. There's the end of the game. Go ahead, Charles.
Well, I fouled David Robinson, and they didn't call it. They didn't call it, to be honest with you. And we just got a lucky break. I tell you, we played. Danny Manning made some big shots down the stretch. I think more than anything, we were just very fortunate. Now, I thought we played tentative.
I thought your defensive, your transition defense early was awful, to tell you the truth.
It was. You know, one of our biggest problem is everybody tried to grab their own man. And we talked about that at halftime when we made a conscious effort. With the Spurs, you can't pick up your own man. You have to pick up the first guy back, and we were a lot better in the second half.
Yeah, you did do it. And you were doing some cute things defensively. It looked like you had KJ double-teaming everybody early. Then you fixed up the traps inside on David Robinson as well.
The 2 things that have hurt us this series, number one, they got so many three-point shooters. It's tough for anybody else to double. We want to make Avery make shots. And then when we didn't double with KJ, you know, when we double with a big guy, whoever do killed us on the board. So we made a conscious effort. Any double need to be done. It's going to have to be done by Kevin.
How about when David Robinson tried to assert himself late in the basketball game, and it looked like the single coverage was going to backfire on you?
Well, I think the main thing, he was struggling all evening, and we were very fortunate. He had a monster game Sunday, but we can't really guard him one-on-one. But John can do the best he can, and that's the key.
Can you pull this thing out?
Well, we think we can. Well, we've got to go home anyway. And we're just looking forward. Obviously, we're in a must-win situation.
You want to keep playing?
I want to keep playing. Got nothing else to do.
All right.
Thank you, Charles.
Congratulations, Charles Barkley. 25 points, 13 rebounds. The Suns beat the Spurs.